Hello, and welcome to your next lesson. Today we will discuss the text-to-column feature in Excel. Excel's text-to-column feature splits the text in a cell into two or more columns. This simple task can save the user a great deal of time and frustration of having to manually type the text into several columns. By default, Excel places the outcome into an adjacent cell, but the user can even assign a destination for the outcome. Before the text is split, the user will decide, will the split be based on a delimited character or a fixed width? Today we will review these options. If you find that you need to separate data in Excel, you will find this next tool extremely helpful. Let's begin by locating our tools, and then we'll do a demonstration on how this tool can work in your favor. Let's begin by locating our tools. Let's go to the Data tab. Let's go to the Data Tools group, and here you will locate the Text-to-Column command button. Let's look at the text in column B. What we want to do here is to split the first and the last name into two columns. So let's go ahead and select the entire column. Let's go up to our text to column button and select it. Here you will have two options to choose from. We can separate this information by a delimited character, such as a comma or a tab, or we can split the text based on width. Since I have a comma in my text, I think that would be the easiest method. Let's go ahead and say next. Here we would choose our delimited character. You have tab, semicolon, space, and comma, or you can even assign your own character. I'm going to go ahead and leave comma selected. Then I'm going to go ahead and say next. Let's go ahead and say finish. And as you can see, my text is now split. Okay, so next we'll do the same thing with column E. But this time our information is separated by a space. So let's go ahead and select column E. Let's go to our Data Tools group. And let's select our Text to Column command button. Let's leave delimited checked. Let's go ahead and say next. Now this time our information is separated by a space. So let's go ahead and deselect comma and let's select space. Now let's go ahead and say next. And as you look at the data preview, it gives you an idea of what your information will look like once the split has happened. Let's go ahead and say finish. And as you can see, our information is now split. Okay, so next we'll split the information inside of column H. This time we're dealing with the first and the last name as well as the title. So we're going to need 3 splits in this case. So let's go ahead and select column H. Let's go ahead and select our text to column button. And we're going to follow the same process. As you look at the bottom, you'll see what your data currently looks like. This is a preview of your selected data. We'll leave delimited check because we are dealing with a delimited character. Let's go ahead and say next. Let's go ahead and select semicolon. Let's go ahead and say next. And here you get a preview of what the data will look like once it's split. Now let's go ahead and say finish. Okay, now as you can see, our information has been split by the first name, the last name, and the title. Okay, and for our final demonstration, we will deal with the fixed width feature. Let's go ahead and select column O. Let's head up to data. And let's go text to column. Now as you look at the preview of the selected data, we do not have a split in this data. So in this case, let's go ahead and select fixed width. Let's say next. And here we're going to indicate where we want our split to happen at. Let's go ahead and drag this line across and place it right at the end of the D and the H. In doing this, we are telling Excel that this is where we would like to see the data split. Let's go ahead and say next. Now this time I'm going to assign a destination column. Let's go ahead and get this drop down. and I'm going to go to M, and I'm going to simply select it. I'm going to get the drop down arrow again, and then I'll just go ahead and say finish. And as you can see, our information is now split by the D and the H and by the numerical characters. Next, we'll use the Format Painter feature that we learned in the previous video to clean up our data a bit. Okay, so let's begin by selecting column B. Let's head up to the Home tab and grab Format Painter. And let's go ahead and paint that format into column C. Okay, next we'll do the same thing with column E. Let's select Format Painter and let's paint the format into column F. Let's grab Format Painter again, and this time we'll paint it in column I and J. Let's repeat these steps with column M and N, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the lesson.
Congratulations on completing another video and on your commitment to learning this program. I hope that you are getting the most out of our level up lessons, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video.